Neymar, a name that echoes through every corner of the football world. Over 400 goals, more than 200 assists, and countless moments that have left us speechless. From his incredible rise at Santos to breaking records with Barcelona and PSG, Neymar has been a game-changer, a showstopper, a true artist on the pitch.
Neymar, into Neymar, could be a chance here, goes for the return, it's Neymar! And Neymar breaks the deadlock in this quarter-final and equals Pele's national.
But while he's built a career full of brilliance, Neymar's story is one of talent and tragedy. His flair and vision made him a star, but it's the other part of his career that fans have come to know too well: injuries. When the spotlight was the brightest, when trophies were within reach, Neymar's body would betray him. Time and time again, right when he was set to define his legacy, Neymar's career has been interrupted, leaving both him and his fans wondering. What if? What if he'd stayed fit at the 2014 World Cup? What if he'd been there to help PSG cross the finish line in the Champions League? What if his body had allowed him to fulfill his potential on the grandest stages? These are the moments we'll explore today. The devastating injuries that have kept one of the greatest talents of our time from fully realizing his destiny. From his fractured back in Brazil's home World Cup to the heartbreak in Paris and beyond, let's dive into the unfortunate story of Neymar's most untimely injuries. Because while the world knows Neymar for his skill, it also knows him for his incredible misfortune in matches that mattered most. In 2014, all eyes were on Brazil as they hosted the FIFA World Cup, a tournament that brought a wave of excitement and anticipation. Among the stars shining the brightest was Neymar, the young forward who had quickly risen to prominence with his dazzling skills and flair for the dramatic. After scoring 4 goals in the tournament, Neymar had become the heartbeat of the Brazilian squad, carrying the hopes of an entire nation on his shoulders. As Brazil advanced to the quarterfinals, they faced Colombia in a match that would determine their fate.
A dizer não para a discriminação em todas as suas formas.
With each touch, he dazzled, weaving through defenders, creating chances, and showcasing why he was considered one of the best players in the world. But in the 88th minute, the dream turned into a nightmare. In a reckless challenge, Colombian defender Juan Zuniga launched himself at Neymar, delivering a knee to his back. The impact sent Neymar crashing to the ground, and as he writhed in pain, the realization struck the stadium. Something was terribly wrong. Neymar was in agony, clutching his lower back. The cheers turned to gasps as the medical team rushed onto the field. The diagnosis was devastating: a fractured vertebra in his spine. Neymar's World Cup was over. As he was carried off on a stretcher, the hopes of a nation crumbled alongside him. Brazil went on to lose their next match in the semifinals to Germany in a shocking 7-1 defeat, a scoreline that would haunt Brazilian football for years. Neymar watched from the sidelines, unable to help his team in their darkest hour. His path would be marred by the misfortunes that followed him throughout his career. In February 2018, Neymar was lighting up the French league after his world record transfer to Paris Saint-Germain. He had quickly become the focal point of the team, showcasing his incredible talent and leading PSG in their pursuit of domestic dominance and a long-awaited Champions League title. However, during a fierce match against rivals Marseille, disaster struck. In the 80th minute, Neymar twisted awkwardly after a challenge, resulting in a fractured metatarsal in his right foot. This injury was a severe blow, especially with the Champions League knockout stage looming just around the corner. Team yearning for what could have been. As Neymar prepared to lead Brazil in the Copa America in 2019, optimism surrounded the team, especially after their triumph in the previous tournament. However, just days before the opening match, Neymar sustained a devastating injury during a friendly against Qatar. A twist of fate occurred when he landed awkwardly after a challenge, resulting in a ruptured ankle ligament. This injury not only ruled him out of the tournament, but also robbed him of a chance to shine on a significant international stage. While Brazil went on to win the Copa America, Neymar's absence was felt, and the tournament became a bittersweet memory, with fans left to wonder how much he could have influenced the team's performance. The 2022 World Cup in Qatar marked yet another opportunity for Neymar to solidify his legacy as one of the game's greats. In Brazil's opening match against Serbia, he started strongly, showcasing his skills and leadership. However, in the 80th minute, Neymar fell victim to a brutal tackle that resulted in a severe ankle injury. The injury forced him to leave the field, and while he managed to return later in the tournament, he was clearly not at his best. Brazil, widely regarded as one of the favorites, fell short in the quarterfinals against Croatia. And the weight of the loss was felt even more heavily knowing that Neymar was limited in his contributions. In March 2023, during a World Cup qualifying match against Uruguay, Neymar faced the most significant injury of his career. In a seemingly routine play, he suffered a torn ACL and meniscus in his right knee. The severity of the injury shocked fans and teammates alike, as it was clear that this would sideline him for a considerable time. As news broke of his injury, discussions about his future in the game intensified. Would he return to his former glory, or would this injury mark the beginning of a new chapter filled with struggles? The injury came at a critical time in his career, raising questions about his ability to lead Brazil in future tournaments and solidify his status as one of the all-time greats. It is clear that Neymar is one of the unluckiest footballers in the world. Throughout his career, he had countless injuries that stopped his activity, but despite all this, he is still one of the greatest footballers in the world. Leave a like if you liked it, and press the subscribe button for more videos.